Greetings. I want to speak to you concerning how important it is to think big. You see, if you want to attract big things in your life, you have to learn to think big. You see, there is magic in thinking big. And there's a book by that name. Now, when I look back at my childhood life, I could remember quite vividly as a child how I used to think very big. You see, because I was operating from the realm of imagination instead of memory, I used to believe that I can have anything that I want in this world. For example, back in those days, there used to be a speedboat that used to be on the sea. And I grew up in a fishing village, and so where we were living on a hill, we could have see the boats when they are passing along. And so as little children, we used to compete to see who first will see the speedboat. And who first see the speedboat, we point at it and we claim it to be our speedboat. And I remember quite vividly that there was a man by the name of Jandy. Okay, Jandy Punnett. Punnett was his surname. And do you realize I live in a predominantly black country? And that person with that boat was a white man whose family owned most of the lands in this country. The Punnets, they owned most of the lands in this country. Okay, but that would be another subject for another time, because I can go into a lot of things, because right now where the Sandals Hotel is built, that was the Punnet lands also too, okay? And so, yeah, Jandy Punnet had his speedboat, and I could have imagined myself as a child owning that speedboat, because I actually had really believed it was my speedboat, because I was the first one to see it. And to cut a long story short concerning the same Jandy Punnet, his father ended up and shot him. And because they had so much money and land, his father, which was a white man, as I said, right, he was willing to pay off the lawyer certain amount of money and give him certain ownership over his land, casino, everything. There used to be a casino on a golf course, okay? And I can speak about it because when I become a bit older and so on, the man who used to be the watchman for that land, when the other lawyer person who died already also, right, was the watchman on that land. We used to be down there because we were close friend with the watchman. And so we used to be on the golf course. We used to go across where the casino was and so on. Okay, not at night, but in the day. So, yeah, I know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I had this big imagination, believing that I can own a speedboat. Even when we see the plane, the airplane, we used to say, that is my aeroplane. But you see, we lost all of that power to imagine ourselves having big things in life when we enter into the school program. Because it is definitely a program. That's where they program you to vibrate on the faculty of memory. And so you only memorize what they teach you to memorize. And so you keep regurgitating what was taught to you. So basically, they never really teach you how to think. They only teach you what to think. So, my brother and my sisters, I'm saying to you, when you understand how the conscious and subconscious mind works, and you understand your true essence to be non-physical, you realize that everything in this physical world that you so desire, it comes out of the non-physical. Therefore, when you tap into your non-physical self and live from inside out, all things are possible to you. So whatever you desire in this world, I'm saying to you that it is possible to you. So dream big. Don't be afraid to dream of becoming a billionaire or a multi-millionaire. Don't be afraid to dream of having 100 million. Don't be afraid of dreaming of having 500 million, right up to a billion, as I said. And then you can have billions, whether it's 10 billion or 15 billion. Don't be afraid to dream big. All you need to know is that these things that you're dreaming of is that you would have to put in the time to think and to exercise your mind and to get into action, because you cannot attract anything in your life without action. You see, the law of attraction has the word action in it, and most people want to attract, but they fail to take action. So take action, but remember that the key is that you must think big, because it's a dream. Remember, it's like a fantasy. You are fantasizing. You know, as a man, years ago, we would fantasize going with a certain girl because she's beautiful and all of that. And sometimes, you know, you're not even in her league, you know. And sometimes you're still trying to fool yourself, okay? It's the same thing with the things that you would like to achieve in this world. You see, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. And if you keep telling your subconscious mind that you can do something, you'll be able to do it. It's the same thing with the relationship and with getting girls in your life. It's the same thing. Because when I was growing up, I used to always say, I realize if you persist with a woman and you just keep being persistent, after a while, you normally succeed. I used to always say that because I used to observe that. But I never really realized I was working with certain law and order. But now I understand I can use my power more wisely. And I'm saying to you, use your power wisely and set your goals big. You see, I grew up in a country where people set goals, and the goals is about just getting a home, getting a vehicle, and going to a 9 to 5 every day and so on, which nothing is wrong with that. But I can't settle for mediocrity, especially me learning this knowledge at a later time in life. I have to utilize every time that I have, knowing that everything is actually an investment. So my brother, my sisters, I'm encouraging you to do the same, because some of you might discover this truth at an older age. You might be 35, you might be 45, you might be 55, you might be 65. It's never too late. As a matter of fact, I get to understand the man, Colonel Sanders, who supposed to be the one that implemented the idea of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Though some people might argue and say, like for example, I was trying to explain something to my mother, and I tried to mention the same Colonel Sanders thing, and she trying to tell me it was a black woman. But it's not a black woman picture that is on the box. So they will not go down the road and get into those stupid arguments. Okay, but the thing is, I get to understand he was like 65 years of age when he started that franchise. So I'm saying to you, it's never too late. And don't forget to always think big. There's magic in thinking big. Set your goal now and start working towards it. Do not worry about how. Do not worry about when. That's not your problem. Just plant the seed like the farmer. And then it will start to germinate, because the ideas will come to you. And all you have to do is act. But remember, you have to always set it in motion. That is why you must get into the feeling that your wish is already a hardened objective fact. So with that being said, my brother, my sisters, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, and definitely I want to encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can follow me at Black Mad Guru. And I would encourage you to get my latest book, which is called The Secret Vagina, Mystery of the Virgin Birth. Do you know that you can bring forth psychologically and spiritually? But most people only know that they can bring forth physically, from the physical realm. And the reason for that is because many people still believe the Jesus and Mary story to be literal and secular history. But no, it's all mind science and must be interpreted esoterically, must be interpreted psychologically, must be interpreted metaphysically. That is why I'm pointing you to look in all this. So get that book plus Spiritual Recipe for Better Living, How to Turn Water into Wine, Your Moods, Your Fortune, and much more. Also, if you'd like to become a part of my Patreon community, you're most welcome. And I have a course there for people donating $20 or more. It's called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that is a bonus course on self-concept. Also, if you'd like to have a one-on-one with me, the links are already down below. And if you want to be a part of my university, I have the Free Thinkers and Seekers University. You can become a member and let us grow together. So with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, I just want to say peace. Love you all. I'm out.